Welcome back to our mid-episode break, Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of Avatar: The Way of Water's release, we're looking back at the original animated movie people joke Avatar stole from, FernGully: The Last Rainforest. FernGully: The Last Rainforest is a 1992 animated musical fantasy film starring the voices of Princess Daisy from the live-action Mario Bros. Movie as Krista, the older brother from Mac and Me as Zack, the concierge from Home Alone 2 as Hexus, the interviewer from Interview with a Vampire as Pips, and Peter Pan from Hook as Batty Coda. Also, Joe from Nash Bridges, rapper Tone Loc, Sarah Palmer from Twin Peaks, the voice of Bobby Hill, and the voice of the Tick, voice random background characters. The story revolves around Krista, who is a fairy that lives in FernGully. In the olden times, fairies lived in harmony with humans, but now they believe them to be extinct after they were driven away by a dark spirit named Hexus. Krista is an apprentice to the fairy that imprisoned Hexus in a tree. When a bat who claims to have been experimented on by humans appears in the village, Krista tasks herself with investigating the situation and ends up meeting a human named Zack, who she accidentally shrinks to save him from a falling tree. But since she's still an apprentice, she doesn't know how to return him to his normal size, so she takes him back to her village and yada yada yada, catch feelings for each other, whatever. Meanwhile, Hexus is released from his tree prison when Zack's bosses knock it down. Hexus quickly regains his powers as he feeds off of pollution. Hexus sends a harvester to knock down FernGully, so Zack, Batty, and the fairies do their best to defend it. Krista's mentor sacrifices herself to give the fairies a chance as Zack manages to stop the machine Hexus possessed. But Hexus possesses the oil the harvester ran on and sets the forest on fire. So Krista sacrifices herself by flying into Hexus, who then sprouts tree branches, and he becomes trapped inside of a tree once again. Krista is still alive somehow and becomes the new magic fairy leader and restores Zack to his normal size. Zack then goes on to tell his bosses that they need to do better and save the environment. And that's FernGully in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less. Thanks for watching, and join us again next Tuesday for another Namely 90s Minute. Remember, you can always hear these a day early in full episodes of Namely 90s on all major podcasting platforms. And most of the small ones too. Please subscribe and do all the other YouTube things. Bell ringing, share like, subscribes, that sort of stuff. And we'll catch you next time.